Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first ever Kerbal Space Program Space Race. You are now in the opening ceremony for the Kerbal Space Program Virtual Space Race, and let's get started. So just to outline what we'll be talking about today. So we'll be giving you a competition welcome and introduction. We'll be doing an interactive, what does Kerbal Space Program mean to you? For some of you, you may be playing Kerbal Space Program for the first time. And for others, you may be in a league of your own. It means something to each of us. And it means a lot to us that you are here to participate in this competition. We're going to be overviewing a bit of the competition rules. We'll be talking about the week at a glance, talking about the competition timeline, our Discord server, the different competition levels, and how you can submit your entries to win a prize. Then we will have a short period where you can have a question and answer period with the organizers, and we will release instructions after this initial video for more details about the start of the competition. So, what is the Virtual Space Race? So this is an international collaboration to bring together students and young professionals worldwide to learn about spaceflight simulation while bringing Kerbals to the moon and having a bit of fun. There are some important dates that you will need to keep in mind. To start, today, the opening ceremony launch. Thank you for being here. On Monday, November the 9th, we will have a midweek milestones and reminder. Next Friday, November 13th, we will have our submission deadline. On Friday, November 20th, the winners, congratulations will be given. And on Friday, November 27th, there will be presentations for the prizes, for the winners and the prizes. So none of this is possible without an amazing team. And we're just going to take a small opportunity here to introduce everyone that was responsible in making this happen. So I guess we're going to start off with you, Shamira.
Hi, everybody. My name is Shamira, and I'm the president of SEDS-Canada. And I'll let everybody else introduce themselves.
I am Kwasi Junior in Kansas, and I am the VP External of SEDS-Canada.
Hello, everyone. I am Jay Kamdar from SEDS India, currently serving as the Vice Chair. I'm super glad to be here.
My name is Calvin McClure. Some of you might already know me from KSP on Reddit and on YouTube. Very happy to be here, everyone.
Hi, my name's Adam Trumper. I'm the president of Launch Canada.
Amazing. Thank you for your introductions, everyone. Some notable mentions go to Greg O'Rourke from UK SEDS, Twinkle Mehta from SEDS Canada, Agassia Rana from SEDS Canada, Nicole Chase from SEDS USA, and Craig O'Rourke from the UK SEDS. And a warm thank you to all of the contributors in the banner below, responsible for making this happen. So now I'd like to hand it off to Shamira, who's going to talk about you.
Awesome. Perfect. Okay, so everybody can see that the slides are there. And essentially, we want to congratulate everybody because this is such a great international initiative that we started this year because of obviously being apart while playing together, doing something together. And we actually want to congratulate you because we have a total of 227 competitors this year from a variety of levels. So we distribute them through beginners, intermediate, advanced, and expert. So the 4 levels that we'll be playing in this competition. And you can see in this a chart right here that the demographic is very widely split across all the nations that we have. So we have participants coming from SEDS USA, SEDS Canada, Launch Canada, UK SEDS, SEDS India, and SEDS Japan as well. So we're really lucky to have you. And to get this started and to get you kind of talking about yourselves a little bit more, if you could please go to menti.com on your phones or on your laptops. I just want to take 2 minutes to kind of prime everybody here and to get to know our audience members and our players as well. So if you can type in the code 5300282, then we can get started. But basically, once you go there, you'll actually see in one word describe KSP or what you are most excited about in the virtual space race. So this can be a word, or you can be typing in a phrase, but essentially this is a word cloud that we're making. So the more you put in a word, explosion, the more you put in a word, or the higher the frequency of the word that you put in, the word becomes bigger. So let's just get to know a little bit. So from wherever you are in the world, whether you're from in the East Coast, or eastern part of the world, or the western part of the world, or in Europe, or in America, or anywhere else, space, this is something that kind of unites us, and it's nice to hear from everybody here. I know we have a couple people tuning in live, but although this is going to be recorded, like, this is just a metric that we can also see what our competitors are interested in. So we can see that our competitors are interested in Kraken. Space, obviously, you're in the right spot to do that. Explosions, launch, fun. Obviously, those are the biggest kind of words that come to our minds when we talk about KSP or the Kerbal Space Program. If you're just starting, or whether you're an expert, I think Kraken is really growing. But we'll send this to you. But thank you so much for filling it out. But it's nice to know that there are people that want to have fun and are also interested in a lot of space. So just a little bit of Discord etiquette. So Discord is the software which we use to actually communicate with each other. So if you're not on that yet, please check your emails. Or if someone's on the Discord that you know, just get the link from them as well. But essentially, this is just a collaborative way for us to get to know you and also help you if you have any questions. So most especially, we're there as staff for you guys to help you out throughout the competition, because it's going to be a week long. So feel free to please tag @moderator, and you'll notify all of us in the all of the staff, at least in the Discord. And just a little bit of a tip to just please be respectful. We have a zero tolerance for spamming and plagiarism, and also cyberbullying. So then again, these are the different channels, which we'll talk about again in the next slide. Just for example, these are just a few steps that if you have not been on Discord yet, check it out, because step 1 is the channel rules, and you have to react to the message, because you will not be able to participate in the server at all if you don't react to that first message that you see in the rules channel. And then the second step is you go to get roles, where you can react again, and this will actually sort you. It's kind of like a sorting channel of the level of the level that you're doing, the organization that you're from, and et cetera, et cetera. And then the third step is just a few other channels, which FAQ, you can ask questions to us, already sent in a few of the emails. If you need any tech support, just tag @moderator for help. And then also some off topics, you can post some memes and funny KSP things or other things like that. And then obviously we have the level specific channels and also level specific voice channels. That's usually for troubleshooting and also communication to competitors and the staff that we have here. Again, if you need us @moderator, we're also working in different time zones, as you can tell. So we have SEDS India, SEDS Canada, UK SEDS, Launch Canada, also SEDS USA, and SGAC is everywhere, and SEDS Japan. So we are everywhere around the globe. So we're gonna try to help you no matter when, to the best of our abilities. So I'll pass it on to Calvin McClure about the levels and the things you'll be doing.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Shamira, and well done. So everyone, welcome to this, what is probably going to be arguably the greatest event in the year 2020. I know, it's amazing. It is going to be that awesome. Most of you, if not all of you, if you're here, are familiar with Kerbal Space Program. Some of you are seasoned experts, veterans, probably even real-world astronauts. Some of you have never even dared to venture into the world that is Kerbal Space Program. In either case, we have prepared for you 4 categories that we're going to go over real quick so that you know, depending on what you chose to do, either beginner or intermediate, advanced or expert, what your actual challenge will be. Now, just so you know, before we dive into it, under the hashtag challenge on the Discord, you will be given, once we make it live, a more detailed breakdown of what each competition level is going to be. We're just going to go over a quick glance, a summary of this, so that you know what we're looking at. But remember that when we go live with the competition, the hashtag challenges will have the complete list of what you will have to do, as well as what you will have to submit for us to be able to review what your performance was like. So let's get started with beginner. So beginner, this is for those of you who have never played Kerbal Space Program, but are interested in taking a stab at it. If that is you and you've made that decision, that is probably the best decision you've ever made in your life. I'm just letting you know right now, it was a great one. So what will you have to do? You will have to build a rocket, launch, and make it to the Mun, which is the Kerbal Space Program analog to the moon. Once you are there, you will have to land on the moon, not crash on the moon, although that is also a Kerbal Space Program favorite. We love to crash into stuff. Ideally here, though, you will try to soft land because you want to bring those Kerbals back home. That is the mission for beginner. Launch, make it to the moon, plant the flag, bring some moon dust back, and then make it home safely to Kerbin. If that's not hard enough for you because you have already played in the Kerbal Space Program environment, we have an intermediate challenge for you. That one is a little tougher. You will have to build not just a satellite, but the craft to put it into orbit. Specifically, you will have to make a single stage to orbit space plane. What is a single stage to orbit? Well, as per the name, there is no staging that happens during the launch. If you're not familiar with it, there's a lot of stuff you can find on it. There's a lot of good YouTube content on there where you can see examples of this, but that is going to be the mission for intermediate. Build a satellite. There will be some specific requirements about the satellite itself, but you will have to circularize that using a spaceplane SSTO. Still not hard enough for you? We have an advanced category for you. This one here will have to, you will have to build a rocket and a couple of landers that you will then take to the Martian analog, which is Duna, a planet both well known and loved for all Kerbal Space Program players out there. Once you are at Duna, you will have to land one lander on the North Pole and the second lander on the South Pole. You will not be able to do this sequentially. No, you have to have both landers at the North and at the South at the same time. Then, of course, this is not a one-way trip. You will have to bring them back. That means you will have to launch back into orbit around Duna, perform a rendezvous and dock with both of those crafts, and bring them back safely to Kerbin. Again, while we know that people love to crash into things in Kerbal Space Program, the objective here is to bring your crew back home. Keep in mind that if you fail to do that, you will lose significant points. If you are still not satisfied with that level of difficulty, and you're kind of sadistic and you like to suffer needlessly, you've probably chosen the expert category. For those of you who are familiar with what I do, I make content on YouTube and Reddit for the realism, overhaul, and real solar system environment of Kerbal Space Program. What that is specifically, per the name, is we've swapped the Kerbal environment, the Kerbal solar system, for the real one. Everything is bigger, everything is life-sized, rockets are much harder to build, much harder to fly, the environment far less forgiving. So that is going to be the environment you will be working in if you've chosen expert. What's the mission you have to complete? A J-class Apollo mission. Specifically, if you are familiar with the real world missions of Apollo 15, 16, and 17, you will know that they not just landed on the moon, but they performed targeted landings in a specific biome on the moon, and they also had a lunar buggy, well known and beloved by all space amateurs. You will have to build a buggy, lunar lander, and rocket. Design it to your liking using procedural parts, nothing that's already made. Everything will have to be procedural parts. And then you will have to make it all the way to the moon, perform a specific landing in a specific biome that's already been pre-selected for you. And you will have to keep your crew alive, perform an EVA, drive that buggy around at least a certain distance, rendezvous back to your orbiting spacecraft around the moon, just like they did in Apollo. And then you will have to come back to Earth and splash down in an ocean. Land landings will not be permitted. Apollo did not land on the Earth, it landed in the ocean. You will have to do the same thing. You will also, while in lunar orbit, have to deploy a small satellite that will be capable of being self-powered, transmit some science back to Earth. There is already a folder that will be made available to you very shortly that already has the full installation of the entire Realism Overhaul suite of mods. And there's already a save file that's been created for you that's already set up at the right time with the right tech levels, giving you access to the right parts. You will not be allowed to change this in any way. You will only be allowed to use what's been given to you. Build your rocket, launch it, and complete the mission to the best of your abilities. So that is what we have to do for those of us in expert category. Quasi, Chimera.
All right. Thank you for going through all of that for us today. Next up, we're going to be talking about when and how to submit. And so Shamira's going to go over this with us.
Just really quickly, I'm just going to wait for the slides to come up on the screen. So you have the deadlines as well. Perfect. Okay, so the deadline to submit is next Friday, so exactly a week from today. And that gives you 1 whole week to work on the competition. So don't worry if you don't get it the first time, and take your time. There's no rush. It's not like a first come, first serve win. So take your time, and this is a learning experience for everybody, and it's to have fun. So the different levels obviously have different deliverable requirements in the manual that you're going to be getting. So please double check and please read that checklist that you have, and also if you just want to try other levels, feel free to if you've already done it, but you're only allowed to submit 1 submission, and it's the level that you signed up for in the previous registration form that we had. But there's also some implications for competition misconduct, which we'll talk about in the next slide. But the links to the submission form are actually linked in these buttons that are in the bottom of the screen right here. And we'll export these slides and send it to your email so that you can also click on those, but they'll also be in the manuals. So check your emails, check the manuals, and check Discord, and you'll be good to submit. The deadline is right at midnight, so 11:59 UTC. So wherever that time is for you, that will be your deadline. And I'll pass it on again to Calvin McClure to talk about some implications, just to make sure that everything is fair game.
Obviously, this is a friendly competition, so we are entrusting you with a level of trust that you're going to play by the rules. But nevertheless, we have taken some steps for every level of difficulty that you choose. There will be a specific set of deliverables that you will have to submit, including, for example, your actual craft files. What we're going to do is that we're going to be able to use that not only to evaluate and judge your performances and then pick a winner from that, but at the same time, if some of you have chosen to not play by the rules and be kind like that, we should be able to find out if that's the case using the information that we're going to be asking you to submit. If you don't play by the rules and you don't submit all the stuff that we're asking, you will be disqualified. We don't want anybody cheating. We want people to have an honest and fun competition. This is what this is about. 2020 has been a rough year for pretty much everybody. So this is all about trying to redeem that and give us something that we can all enjoy and have fun. And friendly competition in Kerbal Space Program, in our opinion, is a great way to do that. So bear in mind, be sure to check what you have to submit according to the category that you will be competing in. There's going to be a specific list. If anything is not clear on there as to what we're asking or how to submit or whatnot, Discord is there for us to help you do that. But be aware, if you fail to follow those instructions, we will not consider your entry. Back to you, Chamira.
Awesome. Okay, so just to go over a little bit about some extra resources that to help you get started, really, and also to guide you if you haven't played or if you're just getting used to playing. This is the KSP Wiki, which is also linked to this slide, which will be given to you. And also, specifically for the expert category, this is the KSP kind of realism overhaul wiki. So if you are still lost to the expert category and don't know what to do, this might be of help. And also, obviously, our staff are at your disposal, so please ask us questions on Discord. And obviously, the KSP YouTube tutorials and anything else that is open there for you to use on YouTube. I'll pass it on to Quasi to end us off. And finally, so that you can get your deliverables.
Thanks, Chamira. So this is probably the moment a lot of you are waiting for. You're wondering, what am I getting out of this? Well, apart from the amazing experience of competing with people internationally for the top prize, we do have a few competition prizes in store for you. And so we have different competition prizes depending on whether you were in the beginner, intermediate, advanced, or expert categories. That means that there's a total of 12 prizes to go around. And these include things such as a digital certificate, proving that you are the KSP master of your area, the ability to present your award-winning solution. You get to win some hard to come by KSP plushies, and there's more to be announced. So with that, we'd like to take on any questions that you may have for about 5 more minutes. And so if you've got questions, feel free to drop them into the chat and one of us will answer them. All right. Nice. I see some excitement out here. Okay, so it looks like there's no current questions right now, but with that, we'd like to close off this meeting and say, go Kerbonauts, go. You've got this. So see you on the Discord.